Are you thinking of buying a home and want to avoid the common pitfalls that so many buyers are making these days? Well, you're in luck because we're about to talk about the 7 most common buyer mistakes that folks are making these days. So sit back, relax, and let's jump right in.
So first up is touring properties without talking to your lender first. Now I know it might be tempting to just get out there and start seeing properties,
But don't do it.
Trust us. This is number 1 on our list for a lot of good reasons. Getting pre-qualified is important so that you know what your buying power is. It's never just as simple as plugging in the going rate into a mortgage calculator. And it's empowering to know not only how much you can buy, but exactly what your payment will be. And another important reason to get pre-qualified is that some sellers out there won't even consider an offer if you don't have that pre-qual letter with it. It's also not that uncommon that there might be a mistake on your credit report, so better to find that out sooner or later so that you can get it wiped off of there. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many other reasons why you should get pre-qualified before you start looking at properties, but we don't have all day, so let's move on to number 2.
Number two, mistake number 2. Mistake number 2. Ready?
Is this mistake number 2?
Mistake number 2 is rushing through your showings. Now we live in a fast-paced world, and it is indeed great to rush through 4 or 5 showings when you're first getting started, just kind of getting the feel of looking at houses. But once you find the one, you really need to slow down and take a closer look. Thinking about things like drainage, looking at the roof and eaves, general structural considerations. And what about storage space? And then the neighbors. You know, neighbors can change, but it's always a good idea to find out who's living around you at the time. So let's slow down and get a good feel when you find the one. After all, buying a home is a big, giant decision. So take your time.
And once you find that one, if you want to avoid any unwelcome surprises, then you better take our advice on mistake number 3. Mistake number 3 is skipping the inspections. You'll want to get a good old-fashioned home inspection and a termite inspection. Those 2 inspections will give you some juicy details on that home of your dreams.
And who doesn't love juicy details?
But what about other inspections? If the property has a well, then we're going to want to know the details of that well. Where's the standing water level? What's the recovery rate? Gallons per minute? Potability? There are many aspects and details to a well report, and we want to make sure that a professional checks that out for you. Also, if the property has a septic tank, then you definitely want to have a septic inspection. We want to have a professional's eyes on those tanks and also have the leach checked out. If not, you could find yourself in a shitty situation. Your property could also use a couple other checkups, and we'll lean in on the home inspector for what they recommend. We want you to remember that leaning in on these inspections can save you a lot of time, headache, and money.
All right, we're already moving on to number 4, waiting too long to get homeowner's insurance. And boy, oh boy, do we have a cautionary tale for you. Picture this. You're a few days away from closing on your dream home, you know, the one with the white picket fence and the gorgeous garden, when bam, you realize you forgot to get your homeowner's insurance. Cue the panic attack. We want you to know your insurance costs way before packing up to move. And the only way to find out is to get your insurance quotes up front. We represented the seller of our property last year, and the buyer waited until just a few days before the close of escrow, and they found out that the only option for them was the California Fair Plan, and the cost was $8,000 annually for a 2,000 square foot house. Now, while that is a shocking number, that's not usually the case, but you definitely want to know the number and your options up front. So we'll be here to remind you within those first few days of escrow to jump on those quotes right away.
Mistake number 5 is negotiation blunders. Ah, the sweet sound of saving money.
Cha-ching!
Negotiations can be a great way to save some dough, but you need to make sure that your agent makes the right moves at the right time. Before making the offer, your agent should communicate with the listing agent to find out what is important to that seller. By doing this, you can make sure that your offer stands out on terms. And sometimes the terms are more important to the seller than the highest price. And the second opportunity to negotiate is usually during the inspection period. So unless the seller provided everything up front, you're going to be doing some inspections during escrow, and that presents an opportunity to either negotiate repairs or a credit. Two great ways to put some additional dough in your pocket.
Mistake number 6, choosing the wrong real estate agent. Do not let a bad real estate agent ruin your home buying experience. A good agent is going to represent your best interests all the way through the whole transaction and keep you informed every step of the way. Did you know that most escrows these days involve over 40 different professionals? That's 40. From title company to the inspectors to underwriters to the listing agent. And a great agent will be in communication with all of them so that all tasks and timelines stay right on track. Most of the professionals will be fantastic and taking care of business, but if just one gets off track, it can cause a huge domino effect. Coordinating 40 plus professionals can be a little like herding cats, so make sure you have the right cat herder.
And last but not least is number 7. Mistake number 7 is waiting too long to purchase your home. Everyone wants to time the market, but most of our clients that wait and attempt to do that end up waiting for too long and regretting not buying sooner.
100%.
Well, we do recommend that you only buy a home that you can truly afford and one that you can see yourself in for the next 5 years. Waiting for the right time to buy usually does result in waiting too long. We even had one client that was searching for 6 years, and during that time, prices doubled.
Wow!
Check out this graphic of historic prices from the 1970s through 2020. And if you're wondering what the median home price is today, click the link below to watch our most recent market update.
Still have questions about the home buying process? No problemo, my friend. Give us a call anytime. We'll be happy to chat. Ready? Are you thinking of buying a home and want to avoid the common footballs? Are you thinking of buying a home? Number 2, mistake number 2. Mistake number 2. Ready?
Is this mistake number 2?
Number 2, mistake number 2.
Again.
That was fantastic. I was doing great. And who doesn't love juicy details? I gotta do that.
You gotta do that, okay.
Do it again. Insurance cost way before you pack up. Only way to get your insurance quotes up front. Cha-ching! I'm doing it.
Okay, do it.
Cha-ching!
Awesome. I'm saying it this time. Pay attention. I'm like, ah!
So make sure you have the right cat herder.
That's it.